Hello YouTube and welcome back to Fire Gaming Project. So in this short video, I'll be talking about the new officially announced Kagura's Verity Catalyst for Yae Miko, her signature 5-star weapon, versus 4-star weapons that are using the same substats, which is crit damage, the Widsith and the Blackcliff Agate, also previously known as the Blackcliff Amulet. Okay, so let's get to it. And before we start, make sure that you guys are subscribed, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, the thumbs up. It'll really help the algorithm and I really appreciate it. And definitely feel free to join my Discord server and talk to me there and the other members there, as well as leave me comments on these videos as well, and check out my other videos too. So let's get started. Thanks. So let's go to the video screen, the weapon screen, sorry. And the Kagura's Verity, I'm not going to read out the card information, but basically it's going to be a crit damage substat weapon. It's going to be 5-star for Yayamiko. Its passive has basically to do with the elemental skill up to 3 stacks to increase the damage, and also has all elemental damage bonus, okay? So basically, as I've said previously as well, basically, the Kagura's Verity is only designed for Yayamiko at this stage because there are no other Catalyst users, and I went through this already in the banner video that I talked about right before this, that no other Catalyst users except for Klee maybe can take advantage of it more fully, let's say. So only Yayamiko can, because she can lay out 3 Fox turrets in her elemental skill, her E skill ability, but and Klee can only lay out 2 Jumpty Dumpty E skill bombs, okay? Whereas all the other Catalyst users cannot lay out more than 1 at a time for their or on field at a time for their E skill. So then they will not be able to stack fully the passive ability of Kagura's Verity, therefore making it a very niche and specialized weapon with a really awesome substat and high damage. However, only 1 character currently in the whole game can only take advantage of it. Therefore, I am skipping the Kagura's Verity, and I've said that in the banner video as well. But having said that, what is comparable to it, and I'm only comparing here the crit damage weapons. So I have here a Widsith that's 4-star, and it's already R5 and 90 out of 90. So this weapon is going to be my go-to weapon. Now I am polling on the Yayamiko banner, and I'm hopefully going to win the 50-50. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I will post a video of it live when I'm doing it later this week. And I hope that if I get her, then I will give her basically this, a Widsith that's R5 and level 90 out of 90. Because I have another one here that's not leveled up yet, but I can easily level it up and then give it to her. So that's my goal. This is my go-to weapon. The reason being is because the 3 possible abilities in the passive can all apply to her. She also, Yayamiko, from her kit officially, from what we already know from the preview live stream and what we already know from just knowing, not leaks, I'm just saying officially what we know, is that they did say that she can scale off of elemental mastery for some of her passive talents. So now I'm not saying that you need to go full on elemental mastery for building her, but at least one of these 3 possible passive random boost at the bottom can one of them is elemental mastery boost, so then that can help in that case. At least it won't be wasted. So at least all 3 of them would be applicable to her. So I think this would be an amazing weapon to give to Yayamiko. Okay, so another awesome weapon that's possibly a good placeholder, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, all the Blackcliff weapons are good, but with the Blackcliff Agate, also previously known as the Blackcliff Amulet, this one on the screen, being not as good as the other Blackcliff weapons, and when I say not as good, it's only because there are a lot of catalysts in the game, technically, as you can see on the screen, and there aren't that many catalyst characters. I mean, there's a lot, but I mean, every one of them can technically be fine with other weapons, so they don't need this, but this is a good placeholder weapon, like all the other Blackcliff weapons. The only problem with the Blackcliff weapons is the passive is hard to sustain, because you do need to kill enemies in order to keep it going or stack it up, right? But it does, when it is leveled up, it does have a good base attack and good crit damage substat. So this is okay as a placeholder, and it's good to just keep in your weapons inventory and roster for any characters that you can give, because remember, once you've like say refined this to R5 if you wanted to and leveled it up to level 90, it's always going to be in your inventory, right? You can always just plug it on to like future Catalyst users, and then until you get other weapons for them, right? Instead of, or if you're trying to build up their weapons, a new weapon for them, then at least this is already built up, for example. So these 2 I think are good alternatives. I'm not going to go too much into the energy recharge weapons right now, or the elemental mastery weapons. Well, actually, no. I'll talk about the elemental mastery weapons, and I'll talk about here. Yeah, we'll talk about the elemental mastery weapons, and we'll also talk about the crit rate weapons here too. Let's just do that now, so that at least it's all encapsulated. But the focus of this video was Kagura's Verity versus the Widsith and the Blackcliff Amulet. Now, for Yayamiko, I don't believe that she'll be that great with the Lost Prayers crit rate, only because this requires her to be on the field, which you could definitely use her on the field. This will be actually, let me rephrase. I don't think she'd be that great with this, but she would do okay with this. But this one is definitely more for like, I feel like it's more for Klee and Ningguang at this point. But definitely they're more like charged attackers, and I don't believe Yayamiko is a charged attacker. But regardless, the passive here is not really applicable. Like, it's kind of universal and kind of, it's okay. It's not horrible. So if you have this already, then you're not giving it to any other Catalyst user, then feel free to give it to her. I mean, crit rate is always a good substat regardless. Okay, I'm going to skip over the attack ones because we'll talk about that in another video. And then Solar Pearl is basically the 4-star and Battle Pass version of the Lost Prayers in many cases. So this is also going to be okay because it does increase her normal attacks and her elemental skill and her elemental burst, etc. Right? So it's not bad, and definitely this is also a good option for her. So these crit rate ones are also good alternatives. Okay, but I'm still going to go for the Widsith for her. I'm going to quickly talk about the elemental mastery aspect as well here. So sacrificial fragments, again, we just talked about it. Now, we don't fully have her yet, obviously, her kit, but we know that she can scale off of elemental mastery. Now, is it okay to go full into that? I don't think so, honestly. I think that as long as you have maybe elemental mastery on some of your stats for your artifact set for her, I think that's good enough. I don't think that you have to go too deep and too heavy into elemental mastery. Of course, all power to you if you want to do it that way, or give her maybe one of them as if you have them. Like if you had a main stat elemental mastery one that has really good substats or whatever that you really, really want to give her, or maybe you've already leveled it up and it's just sitting in your inventory and you don't want to farm something new for her or get her like build up a new one for her from zero, then like, yeah, for sure, right? But I don't think she needs to be fully built that way. You'd want to build her up with more attack and crit rate or crit damage, I feel. Yeah. Similarly, Mapamare is the same story, basically, and also Sacrificial Fragments is better for Sucrose, basically, by the way. It's her best in slot. And Mapamare is just currently sitting there right now. I'm not leveling it up further, but it's just sitting there, and they're both very similar. This one will have, obviously, higher Elemental Mastery with slightly lower base attack. As you can see, at 90, it's 454. This one's at level 80, and I'm not leveled it up fully yet, but it's already at 497 base attack, so this will have higher base attack, but lower EM. So regardless, they're the same story, in my opinion. Yeah. So we'll leave it at that. So we've covered all the EM ones and the crit rate ones as well in this video, just to quickly go over it. But then, yeah, the focus was on the other weapons. And again, I would say by far the best one is the Widsith for her as for Yayamiko as an alternative. And I definitely will be happy to give her this as well. Now, please stay tuned for the next video right after this one, where I will be talking about the Oathsworn Eye and be comparing that to the other attack-focused weapons, as well as I will be talking about energy recharge catalyst in that video. So that's why I'm not talking about it specifically here. So please stay tuned, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much, and we'll see you there.